lean into it. So there are some.
They say that yet, but that's a separate story.
Now the problem, and I need to catch my car.
What are you looking for?
A car.
A limo?
A black town car.
Yeah, got it.
Is that when you get into the, well, what should we do? What are the implications? I put the implications up here. New services, new business models, new relationships, new IT, developing some new capacities, and going through the staffing model, the service mix, the population mix, the pay, all this kind of stuff, and your head starts to spin and say, can we afford to do all of this? And the conversation we had upstairs is you don't have to. You can form coalitions or networks that build some shape, some contour, and there are two contours that are really common. One is called an MSO, a management service organization, that basically says the 30 providers like us are gonna share a consolidated or centralized back office. All the back office junk, stuff that isn't treatment and it isn't service. So we're gonna share all that, IT, billing, finance, HR, well, there's a long line, we're just gonna share that. Because 30 of us sharing the cost of something that's really pretty simple compared to treatment, let's do that.
He's here.
Okay, great.
It's a black Suburban.
Oh,
You're
Suburban.
right.
So that MSO is a business model unto itself. And providers around the country are realizing, finally, on the behavioral health care side, primary care did this 30 years ago. Because they realized as mom and pop primary care physician shops, there was no way they were gonna survive in 30 years ago, the HMO market. So they formed networks. And then some of those networks said, wait a second, we wanna be the HMO. We want the risk and the reward. So they created another kind of entity called an IPA, right? Independent Provider or Practice Association. And those IPAs can negotiate with health insurance companies on behalf of all their members for better rates and capitation, risk. So they become sub-capitated by the HMO. The HMO takes their capitated rate per member per month and pushes a portion of it down to the primary care network. Well, now you can do the same with the behavioral health network and cozy up next to the medical folks and say, we'll take a portion of the total CAC premium for all the behavioral health. And we've got a network that ensures capacity, outcomes, access, availability, quality, we've got the whole network. And we're really good. Now I've got an entity that can go into the circus tent with a whole lot more musculature, right? Because under that circus tent, like I said, it's a hockey game. People are gonna be jostling, and you can show up as a $15 million shop, or you can show up as a $150, $200 million consortium. And the elbows hurt less when you're a $200 million consortium. So that's an option for all behavioral health providers who don't have, some people say, you know, Patrick, at what point should an organization consider taking risk on a global payment basis, value-based reimbursement, which is coming anyway? We have no choice. This form of reimbursement's coming. How big do you have to be before you can absorb that kind of risk? And some people say it's 400 million. I'm closer to 50 to 100 million, depending on there are different risk-bearing contracts. You can have shared risk as low as 10% share, all the way up to 100%, right? So shared risk, you can set your tolerance low, and the bigger you get, you start to move your tolerance higher. So you don't have, you'll read articles about you're gonna be $400 million, which is bunk. You don't have to be a $400 million shop. But you're gonna sub-capitate as a behavioral health care provider. 15 is too small. 50 to 100, you're in the right range. But you can't become a $100 million shop by yourselves in the next 12 to 18 months, which is about the timing we're talking about. So call some friends and say, let's do a joint venture. So that together, that's the gravitas we bring. Does that make sense?
I wish we had hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hours.
It's a lot, but it hopefully, I mean, it gives you something to